If you don't know, my name is Leo. I was on, thank you. Season 4, episode 2, Monk. Yeah, one line was great. I'm still talking about the line. Anyway, Ethan, you know Ethan, and I have some lovely friends for you guys. We have the gorgeous, beautiful Ben Levin. Come on stage, join us. We have Jedidiah Goodacre. He's somewhere. There he is. What a guy. We have Elijah B. Moore.
Let's go, Elijah.
And then we have the lovely Nick Fink. Come on out, Nick. We got our lovely little blankets. We look like old Russian grandmothers.
Oh yeah.
Babushka.
Grandma
Oh, look at ya.
Wow.
Well, guys.
Oh, yeah.
How's everybody doing despite the cold weather, huh?
I'm chilling.
We're such wimps, by the way. Like, you're good. You're from Canada. You're not supposed to be a wimp.
Remember, weather's all in your mind. It's all about, don't you gotta tell yourself you're not cold. That's what it's about.
They're like, we've been trying that, pal.
Keep trying.
My grandpa always said,
Don't tense up.
there's no such thing as bad weather, just inappropriate clothing.
Yeah.
True. So
It's like the difference between a good haircut and a bad haircut's 2 weeks. You know?
Exactly.
So anyway, like I was saying, the shows were a long time ago. Doesn't it feel like an eternity that we were like actually working together? Now we know each other from the cons more than we know each other from working, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like an experience on the show that I think I know yours? I've done so many panels with you. I think I know his answer already. But like just a cool experience, because one of the cool things about the job is just getting to live out different circumstances, crazy things that we would never normally get to do. So is there anything that sticks out to you guys? Don't all answer at once, please.
Yeah, we're thinking it through. It's a good question.
I mean, you can't beat my fairy moment. My wings was incredible, getting actual practical wings. But I also really loved when we were doing the Western bit, when it was in it wasn't the prison world, but
Therapy box?
The therapy box, thank you, yeah. And I was in it briefly, but they gave me this amazing long mustache, and I was wearing these old-timey glasses and the whole fit. And I remember walking around all that day, people were like, you should grow a mustache out, that works for you. I'm like, I can't, this is it.
You still think it
I still Well, thank you.
Anybody else? I think for you is the mud pit.
Yeah, I mean, getting just to be around that pit of goo for so long. I do have very fond memories of walking into that thing and treating it like it was my father and that I was somehow giving myself back to him.
Gigi?
No, it's just cold, man, and yeah, I do feel a bit emotional.
Yeah.
My left ear canal is clogged, but if you want to talk about it, but so I cry uncontrollably. Yeah, sorry.
How would you know?
How would I know? Sorry, I just misheard that. I'm so cold. That was fun. Yeah, it was just so weird. It was actually just a fun acting exercise because it was so damn weird and yeah. Oh, thank you.
It's very helpful.
But anyways, that's my answer.
It's very good.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Thanks, yeah.
Yeah, no, Leo.
I'll answer. Yeah.
What about you?
There we are. No, for me it was Landon. We had this thing where I believe Landon was Malivore or something like that, and he had goo, like he was like inseminating goo into me.
Hello.
Are you sure you're not talking about Legacies, right?
I really hope that we have some like parents in the crowd that have never seen the show. What were you all watching?
He put his hand on my face, and it was actually a chocolate pudding like cannon, and it was a moment like in the car. We were just sitting there at night, and there's always these weird moments where they're just setting up. It's just him and I sitting in a car, just quiet. Like, this is a weird job, dude. Like, you got the pudding? He's like, yeah, I got the pudding. Yeah, you ready? You got the stuff? Yeah, I got the stuff. Yeah. It's like, how did I end up here? So there's all those moments for sure. I have another question. It's a great question. Best question. No better question. Everyone says it. did anyone's characters, like, did you die? I don't think anyone actually died up here other than me.
I died briefly, I think, if anyone can
But not like
corroborate this.
permanently, not like,
I was dead, but I was perceived dead for a period of time.
But perceived dead is different than dying, isn't it?
I guess so.
Would you say?
You're right.
Yes.
I mean, I got a call that said I was no longer going to be on the show because my head was getting cut off. But,
Yeah, okay, well, yes.
I ended up not being dead, but
Okay,
yeah.
well, then barring that.
I felt like dying.
Barring that, where do you think your guys' characters would be now? If the show is still going, what do you think you'd be doing?
Oh, I know what I'd be doing. I mean, if anyone remembers season 4, I was totally on the verge of starting up in like a B&B with the Ben character, the demigod played by Zane. I think we were definitely going to be moving, out of Mystic Falls, and we were going to be starting up some sort of like a very sweet, B&B. I'm positive about it. In fact, they told me that was probably going to happen.
Is that bed and breakfast?
This is bed and breakfast.
Got it.
Yeah. So no, like for me, I mean, Jed, a sort of troubled dude over the course of the series, I think was on the verge of finding real happiness and finally coming into his own. So yeah, I'm sure I'd be right now, this many years later, who knows how thriving that venture would have been for us. I think we would have had a very successful chain of B&Bs, and maybe we would have adopted a kid in this life, and maybe that'd be revoked now in this current. I don't know. Who knows? But I do think it would have been a great life I would have led with Ben.
Oh.
Now, isn't that beautiful? Come on, that's a beautiful concept.
What would Ben and Jed's B&B be called?
Oh man.
I was gonna ask that. I was like, that'd be a tough one, dude.
I think it's Demigod-alicious, written in. Would be like a nice font.
I was thinking B&J's BJ's B&B, or is that?
No, it's B&J. Ooh, someone had a good idea for what would it be called? Bed and breakfast. I like that. That'd be also a little nod to me.
Got a bunch of creative actors out here.
Yeah.
You just came up with all this.
Clearly, we weren't writers.
We don't come up with the words. We just say the words,
And we can barely do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Matt Davis asked this question at our last dinner. We had the cast dinner in Atlanta, and he asked a group of us outside. He was like, "Where would you want your characters to go?" And I said, "I think eventually Wade would become headmaster of the school." And Matt was like, "Whoa, like, hey, that's come on, that's my job." And I'm like, "You said eventually, you're admittedly kind of a terrible headmaster."
I buy that, by the way. I can totally see Wade.
At least a professor or something, sure.
Absolutely. For sure. Yeah.
Jed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Where are you going to end up?
Oh, yeah, the question.
Best question, no better question.
Roman, yes. I'd probably get into the merchandise business, and I'd probably search for, the best young acts, and I'd find this guy goes by the name of Grasshopper, and I'd make these hats.
Yeah.
Which are on sale.
Yeah, actually, you should go check it out.
Yeah, how do you get these? I don't. The merch room.
I'm sure you guys saw it. There's the whole merch room over there. Ben and I actually collaborated on a sweatshirt, a Super Squad sweatshirt that I actually really dig. I'm very happy about it. So he's got some cool hats. And also, I don't know if you guys have heard, his music is excellent.
Amazing.
He's playing a concert. Is it tonight?
Yes, tonight, my little set. Yeah, I'm doing a little set
That's
tonight.
really, really talented. And no joke, I wouldn't say that. I would just not say something. He's really good.
Leo's setting the bar high, and I really appreciate that. But it's true. I love music, and so that's something I'm really proud of. I'm really excited. I got a whole album putting out, and I didn't even force Jedidiah to say that, but I did ask him heavily to say that. But I didn't force him. I want that to be known.
No money exchange.
Not being paid.
No money exchange, but I guess he can have the hat now.
Yeah, there you go.
So, Nick, I think obviously you would have started a mud bath spa, right?
Yeah, me and Trudy.
Father and I.
Yeah.
Malivore and Sons Day Spa.
Yeah, I don't know what Clark gets up to with the rest of his forever life. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. I got nothing.
Frame.
New question.
Captive. Oh, new question. As if I just have hundreds floating around. Like, that's all I have, man. That's not
I think you're hosting.
I would love you guys to ask some questions because I ask what I want to know, but I'm sure you have more interesting questions. So if anyone has questions, please line up yay right in the old middle right here, and we'll get going with those.
Yeah.
And if not, I have more questions. Oh, we have right here. Hi there.
Hi, my name is Legacies. So good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Nice to
So
meet you.
my question for everyone, it says, what was the most challenging aspect of portraying your character?
Most challenging aspect of portraying your character.
For me, playing Roman, the most challenging aspect was there being kind of like a behind the scenes bad guy to Hope. You know what I mean? Like, it just felt wrong. Because, you're playing that aspect of their, kind of falling, in love together, and then all this behind the scenes stuff with my mom and her dad and stuff like that. That was the toughest part, to keep that on track while also keeping all the other stuff going. So,
Nice.
yeah.
I had, I've said before, Wade was pretty much just me in high school. So the hardest part for me was going into my mind and reliving my high school years. And he was a lot more low energy, and I was a pretty hyperactive kid, so there were...
No way.
Yeah, I know, right? There was, I remember my favorite direction, I can't remember which director gave it to it. We were doing a scene, and I delivered a line like Elijah would deliver a line. Me, Elijah, not Gilly's Elijah. And, we do the scene, and then they correct some things, and they were like, also, Elijah, can you do that more like Wade would? And I was like, yeah, okay. I gotta tone it down.
You're up here. I need you right here. Bring it down.
Nice.
I think it's hard because on a show like this, with so many characters, you don't always know where it's going. And so I think it's hard to kind of tie it all together in your mind, especially when you're not sure what you're going to become in the end. So the arc of your characters, it's not clear. So you're sort of playing each episode almost as a standalone sometimes. And I think, again, for me, I was so excited that I had this sort of deeper backstory. And I think that was something that really meant a lot to me at the time. In real life, my brother is gay and came out, and it was it was very welcomed in my family, of course, which I'm so grateful for. But I really wanted to kind of the weight of Jed coming out in season 4 like that. I really wanted to bring as much dignity and reality to that weight. And I think that was a challenge because I did feel the pressure to make sure that felt authentic. And so that was for me like a challenging thing because I really wanted to make sure that was organic and believable.
I think you did that, man. Absolutely.
Hey, really?
I was gonna say very similar to what he just said. Like, you guys see the show in its completion, right? Episode 1 through I think every season had like 22 episodes. So you kind of like you're watching the story. We don't know what episode 22 is gonna be when we start episode 1. So a lot of the time we're guessing at what might happen. So, our job is to fill up like what's on the page. They're just words. So like we have to assign meaning to the words and trying to understand where it's going, even when sometimes they don't know, the writers don't know. So there is a bit of a, you're just jumping off a cliff kind of in a sense. So I'd say that's the most difficult thing, not knowing and just having to commit to something.
Yeah, man, I totally agree with that as well. Like signing up for the show and not knowing what was going on with my character. Like, I just knew I was around and I was somewhat mysterious and somewhat, evil maybe or something. And then, obviously at some point finding out that I'm made of mud you wonder if you're like, how am I supposed to tie this all together? And how can I still, not knowing where it's going, how can I still be vague enough almost with it that it's like anything will make sense down the line. If you find out I am 800 years old, it's like, oh, I can go back to the first episode when I didn't know that. And somehow you can still look at the performance and be like, oh yeah, he is 800 years old, Yeah. It's, it definitely has some challenges. And like I said, there's just the circumstances you find yourself in on like a show like this are just so otherworldly and out there. Interacting with my father, screaming in this black void, and monologuing by myself with like 40 crew members looking at me and stuff. And you're just like, what's going on here? But they're fun challenges. It's just, I think we all end up in some weird spots.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. That's a great question. Yeah. All right. What's your name?
Annalise. Hi, Leo.
Annalise. Hi. Yeah, good to see you.
Also, congratulations on getting married.
I did the thing, guys. I did the thing. Yeah, thank you so much.
And I was just gonna ask, do you guys have anything exciting you're working on?
Upcoming projects, guys. Anything? I know Jedi has some awesome things.
I worked on two movies I'm going to tell you about. I worked on Woman of the Hour, that's out on Netflix.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, that was like the first project I've ever worked on in my life that I was like, go watch this movie. And that was so much fun. And then I've got another movie coming out early 2025. I don't know the exact date, but it's with Lucy Hale is the star in that one, and it's called F, Marry, Kill. And so
F stand for
Friend.
Trained, love it.
Right? I'll leave you guessing on that one. But that was such a fun movie to work on, and it's very, very different from my character in these TV shows. It's a lot more like me in real life. So if you know me in real life, it's just like going to watch me in real life. So anyways, there's my shameless plug. Grasshopper.
Yeah. I saw Woman of the Hour, is it called? He's great in it. Has anyone here seen that film yet? The Anna Kendrick film? How good was he? For real.
So great.
I was super, I was just telling him literally backstage, he sold so many of those important beats in the story, and I was giddy watching it. I guess one cool thing that I keep forgetting about is I had a small role in a film called Nora that just won the Palme d'Or. It's Sean Baker's new film, who's an incredible director. And that came about because I did a play last year with his wife. And so he basically, they got me in to do this kind of lengthy voiceover about a weatherman. But that film was amazing. I just have to plug that film, Nora. It's, this thing could win a lot. It's a great, great movie. So I was psyched about being in that, in a small role. But then, the music. I'm just basically in the throes of putting out this full album, and I'm really, really gonna go for it this year. And I know I got some great supporters, Mary Liz, and all these great people. I'm just really psyched to hop on stages this year with a band, which I won't have tonight, but I'm gonna have a proper 3-piece band, and I'm gonna start in the grungy bars, and I'll work my way up to the less grungy bars. This is the goal. So I'm setting realistic goals. But I'm on a mission to just have fun with music again, because as an actor, it's so hard to control your fate. We're all at the mercy of what's out there, and it's never been harder to continue because budgets are slashed, networks aren't putting out as much. It's all Tubi originals. It's not good stuff. And we're getting older. And so for me, telling a 2 to 4 minute song, this is the goal. I want to go further with songwriting and storytelling within that medium. And just have fun. Go fun with it.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Great. Anybody else?
My current project is a almost 6-month-old puppy. She's incredible. She's hilarious. She still bites a lot. I've got scars all over my legs and arms. But it's been terrifying. I'm not. Hear me, parents. I'm not trying to compare myself to the parent of a human child because I know they are extremely different. And also, I hate the term fur daddy. I can say I have a fur baby, that's a thing, but I don't enjoy the term fur daddy. I feel like that is different connotations to it. But it's challenging and so rewarding because she's hilarious and the love of my life. And I can't promise that she'll be in the next con, but there's a good chance. And I want to try and get her in, have a puppy play date meet and greet, because I think that would be so fun.
I think everyone supports that. I see a lot of heads nodding. Yeah, absolutely.
nothing super exciting on the horizons. I like to mention
We
necessarily.
make medication for that. Medication for nothing exciting on the horizon. SSRIs, I think.
Oh yeah, I'm just joking. Unfortunately,
Already there, buddy.
yeah, kind of. I've honestly taken a bit of a step back from the acting stuff. It's not something like it's not like I'm like publicly retired or anything like that. Okay, so if there's a big opportunity out there for me, just reach out. Even though I'm really not acting anymore. But yeah, so I'm really just kind of figuring out life, and I'm close to my family now, and some family business stuff, and making suits for people, and it's more the day to day that's exciting, and trying to figure out what the rest of my life is going to look like is kind of that's on the horizon for me. So yeah, singing some songs tonight as well. But.
Nick is like in his Daniel Day-Lewis cobbler phase.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
he's
learning
a
a craft.
phenomenal actor. And then he's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go make suits. And then 10 years from now, you'll see him on the Oscar stage.
I really admire that. I think, to you guys, right? Like you see these people on these shows, like, oh my God, they must be, flying private jets and whatnot. It's like, it's absolutely not like that at all. And it's a very unstable industry. And it's a brutal industry. It's like, it's, we all love what we do, but like Ben was saying, we don't have a lot of control. So I always really admire people that value their own, like, what do I want to do? Like, this is, I'm not enjoying this, right? And I really admire that. So yeah, I'm on Days of Our Lives. Yeah. Been on that show for like a year and a half. Yeah, it's groovy, it's cool. I dig it. Yeah, so thank you for the question. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello.
Hi, my name is Emily. I have a question for Elijah that's kind of niche. Do you by any chance have a side gig as a DJ? It's called Goodfellas.
Yes, I do.
I thought I saw you there before because I used to go to UNC Chapel Hill.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. I DJ at this college bar in Chapel Hill back home, and it's rad. I love it. We actually, Broshu mentioned, because y'all are doing your music tonight. He was like, we need to get you doing a DJ set. I was like, I didn't think all my equipment is back home, but yeah, no, absolutely.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, right.
That's your DJ.
That'd be fun. You guys
Like, oh,
sets.
yes. Actually, and my DJ name is DJ Twinkle Toes. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, come through Goodfellas. That's right.
Yeah, I had to ask because I thought I recognized it.
Yeah, absolutely. Come up and say hi next time. Anyone that's in Chapel Hill and over 21, because I'm not trying to get the bar shut down. Come through Goodfellas.
Or if you have a good fake ID, that's all. That's all you need.
I did not say
That's
that.
all you need to
Did
do.
not say that?
Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Hi there.
Nice hat.
Nick, I just want to say that I love you and you are one of the sweetest men I've ever met. And my question is, have you ever considered writing and directing your own movie or TV show? My question's for everybody.
Yeah. Well, as very nice of you to say, thank you very much. I strive to be a sweet man, so it's nice to hear that.
You are. I fully agree. He's one of the sweetest guys I know. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm assuming everyone can probably say yes to that. I think you get into acting because you're a creative person, and I think at some point you have ideas about things, and you see people, directing and writing, and yeah, I mean, it seems like there's something there to itch for you, or so yeah, I definitely had things. I always wanted to direct a music video. There's late at night, like when I'm trying to fall asleep at night, I'll end up turning back to some idea for a TV show I've had that I'm always kind of, flirting with, and love to do stuff like that. It's and yeah, again, that is something you can actually take some control over. Whether it gets made or turns into, that's a whole other thing. But the acting stuff, while you're waiting around, it's not like you can just. Acting in my apartment alone is not considered, stable.
Medication for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Like, you can't act alone. It's something that people think you're insane. I mean, you kind of are. It's called lying. If you're acting in public, you're just lying to people. It's not good.
Yeah, well,
I get paid for it.
No.
Do you guys have something like that? Have you written, directed anything?
No, but it would be a dream of mine, and I've always battled that imposter syndrome of nah, I can't do that. But the truth is, you know, we all sit and daydream about stuff, and imagine like, oh, I could just write a show. You could write a show. You could write anything you wanted. You're like, I want to see a show with, you know, flying monkeys. You could write that. And it might get sold. You never know. Like, it's like there's no limits to it. So that's always exciting to me. And in theory, yes, I would really like to do that, but I also have pretty bad ADHD, and sitting down to do it is virtually impossible for me. So there's that.
Have the monkeys learned to fly a plane? Or
I haven't gotten there yet. No, I haven't gotten there yet. But we're working on it. Yeah.
I recommend that you cut away from the monkeys when you storyboard it, because that's going to be so expensive to try to show.
I'm not looking for like critiques or anything.
Oh no, I saw.
It's a soft pitch.
I do think though everyone should be writing something for themselves, especially everyone here, but everyone out there too. It's like we're in such a time now where you just got to take control over your storytelling. And I think everyone's got their personal story is worth knowing. And so for me, I'm going for that right now. Me and my writing partner are developing a show about myself as a Chinese Jewish person, and which I am. And so that's sort of the identity struggle that we're kind of jumping off from, called Jewish. Right? It sells itself, right? Jewish. I'm just going to speak into existence right now. Why not? Imagine me trying to get bar mitzvah night right now with a bunch of kids, right? It's funny. But basically, don't take that idea though. You know what I mean? Just manifest it in my mind.
No, that's really good. I might take it.
Thanks. Oh, shoot. Well, anyway, let's talk. But yeah, I really think everybody should be trying to like use their own life and make a story out of it, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Couldn't agree more. Thank you for your question. Yeah. All right, back to us, guys.
Yeah.
I have a question. You know, a lot of these jobs, right? Like, basically, how do you stay creative, right? Because a lot of the time in these shows, like, we're in a box, and you can only do what's on the page, right? You're playing your role. You can, you know, have fun and be creative, but you are limited to that lane. Just in your personal life, how are you guys pursuing like creativity? Like painting, you write, you know, what do you guys do? Because I think that's an important muscle to keep working.
Yeah, I write mostly short stories, and I prefer short stories because they're short, and I can, you know, there are things that I just learned about recently, and someone correct me on this. I think they're called drabbles, DRABBLES, and they're specifically stories that are exactly 100 words long, and those are so fun because again, 100 words is not a lot of words. So it's like, you know, maybe 2 paragraphs if they're short paragraphs, and it's about maximizing the value of each word. And if it ends up being 101, you got to cut something out somewhere or find a way to merge 2 words to a better word. And that's just a really fun exercise that I've been doing of trying to just use that limitation. It's like, you know, making a short film or doing like a 48-hour film fest or something like that, where it's like, give me a limitation that I can fit in between. And then, you know, again, 100 words isn't a lot. So even if it's not a great story, after a little bit, you've written a story. And you can say, hey, I did this. You don't have to publish it anywhere, post it anywhere, but, you know, you can hold it and say, I did this. And that's really fun.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
I go even shorter than that. I like haikus, truly.
Yeah.
575. They're great to write. Everyone should write a haiku. I don't know. I think it's a fun one. It's also very quick and easy to do. So it's a nice way to quickly jog your creative bone.
You should do a song of haikus. Like the whole song is just 575.
That could take off. That could really take off.
Nice.
Copywriting that.
Yeah.
Give me partial credit on that.
That was my question. We can revisit that. This gentleman here has a question.
My name's Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Already included Leo. Were you ever doing a script earlier, reading it, or at a table read, and something was happening to your character, and you were like, "Oh heck no!" What was it that happened?
Oh yeah.
On Legacies.
On Legacies specifically, or just Legacies?
I mean, for me, it wasn't like in the table read that, because, you know, we get sent the script like a day before the table read. When I died, it's like, I was like, oh no, there goes my job, you know, like, I'm not employed anymore. How am I gonna feed myself, you know? I don't know where I'm gonna live. Here I go, you know, that kind of thing.
The funny thing with that is we like threw Leo a going away party after he filmed his last episode,
And then the show got
and then the show got canceled, and we were all like, Leo got a party at least.
Yeah. No, that was, for me, that was the thing. I heard grumblings that I was dying. Yeah, and then that was it for me. So, what about you guys? Have you had that experience?
I was standing in the doctor's office when I read the script where I said, I'm not a witch, I'm a fairy. And I was going for a physical, and I kid you not.
Did you announce it to the room? You're like, I'm not a witch, I'm a fairy.
I was like, let's get him a psych eval as well. I was getting a physical, and he said everything checks out, but you do have a slightly elevated heart rate. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Just found out I'm a fairy.
Nice.
But I was not upset by this. I was just taken by it.
Oh yeah. I guess like I'm always worried when I see it's like a shirtless scene. I feel like I might have one or two on the show like that.
Oh, I wasn't worried.
Enjoy that at all.
I was excited.
I don't know. I just, that's always, that just gets me nervous, I just feel like I gotta, try to get abs for the first time ever in like a couple days or something, which is just hard.
So I guess I'm not eating.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, like, you don't need to get abs, but I definitely, that was always like a bummer to read. I like to do, I prefer like, oh, he's wearing a billowing shirt and he's sitting down for most of the scene. That's what I want to read. That's what I get excited when he's sitting and not talking too much.
Not talking.
I like that.
Nice.
Sometimes.
You want me to sit in the background? Got it.
Do it, yeah.
Again, yeah, nothing like extreme where I was like, I'm not doing this. But something that does come to mind is just, towards the end, like the Trudy stuff, it was meant to be not the best, house life for Clark, I think, but it's like, that was some rough days for him, and I think just like, obviously I was there with him, so that's if I was like, all right, if this is what we're, Housewives of Covington, this is, I'm there, but.
Trademark that. Trademark
That's
that.
good. I do have a quick story for you. It's not about me reading something, but it's about someone I was working with reading something. I was on a show called Shake It Up, and Zendaya was on it, and I played this. This is maybe she'll make it one day. Who knows? And I was supposed to kiss her on the lips, like for an episode, and came in the next day and it had been changed to a kiss on the cheek. And I found out she'd read it, and she told the producers that she did not want her first kiss to be with me.
Good for her.
So there you go. So she read it, and she had that moment of, oh no.
Was it specifically with you or just on camera?
It was with me. No, I'm sure it's on camera. But anyway, yes, so it happens often. So it's a good question, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thanks.
Hi there.
So, as you guys mentioned, the industry is very rough. But you signed for the small gigs, right? What were the gigs that you really wanted to book but didn't get? Or what were the minor gigs that you booked that helped you set the foot in the industry?
Stranger Things. Thank you.
Me too.
You too?
Billy?
You too?
Billy? Yeah, me too. Yeah. I also auditioned for Ronan. That's fun.
Oh,
On Legacies. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. And Landon and Raphael. I mean, like, I can point out things like.
the things that we are bitter about.
Oh God! I see shows. I'll tell you. For me, at least, I don't know if you guys have this experience, but when I watch a show and I audition for a role and I see the guy that got it, I go, "Wow, that guy crushed it." I have no problem with that at all. I go, "Great." It's when like they don't. That's what bothers me, But like often, like at least Stranger Things, I saw Goodacre Montgomery, and I was just like, "Oh yeah, no, he's the guy." Like very clearly, like that's the guy that should have booked that, So I have no problem with that, but it does happen a lot.
I don't feel the same, but
I auditioned for season 1 of Stranger Things as, I can't remember the character's name. He was in a couple of seasons, and he was Steve's best friend in the first season. And like most of the things we audition with, you audition, you forget, and then you might see it later and be like, oh, okay, they went in a different direction. Until I watched Stranger Things, and he looked just like me, was the same age as me. I'm still, and then Stranger Things goes on to be huge. It's one of my favorite shows. I love it. I'm still a little bitter about that one. Sucks.
Yeah, it's a bummer. You face a lot of rejection in acting. Everyone knows that. I I remember like I tested for Big Time Rush back in the day. I remember, yeah, I mean, you don't need to clap for that one. Yes, right. I could have been Carlos.
Nobody did clap, really.
Oh, you didn't clap? Yeah, I thought I heard a clap. I thought somebody clapped out there. Well, no need.
Sorry to cut you off. What was the role?
I think it was the Carlos role. It's probably the ethnic guy. It would have been.
Back in the day where, like, if you were just any ethnicity, they'd be like,
Yeah. Oh, I played a Latino guy in a soap opera for 6 months when I first started acting.
It's awesome. I watched it. It's so great.
Yeah, that one, and then also I got really close for that movie Chronicle that came out many years ago. Josh Tranksnow. That was a classic example of like I just misunderstood like my character. I thought I was like the brooding sad guy, but I was supposed to be like the jock or something, and that didn't help. But yeah, I think I don't know. I've always just moved forward. I think I don't even look at other actors who got my role and think I should have been me. I just think. You're not competing too heavily with others. You're just out here on your own journey, and it's going to shake up how it shakes up, and you got to forget your wins, forget your losses, and keep moving forward.
but I wish it was all me.
But I do wish it was all me, and I'm very mad.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I didn't know what that was.
People
I also thought it was.
Big Time Rush, what was that about?
They must be in town.
I think, I kind of like remember, when I first moved to LA, and it's like, you thinking back on like my very first auditions, how naive I was. I mean, I think I like literally dressed up for them like they were job interviews, like, like instead of like for the role. I mean, it's just you don't know until you know. Like, it's hard for people to tell you these things, and I didn't have any. I was just in LA alone for the most part. But I remember, it's like the first things I booked. It's just it was just so validating. Like just the smaller things, right? It's not like these. You have 2 lines on a show, but it's like taking you 5 years to get there, and it's this casting director you've seen 3 times now, and like because you haven't been a complete fool in front of them, they trust you enough to speak to 4 words on a show and hopefully not ruin their career. But yeah, so I think it's it's just such a a process. Like, but the payoffs are when it does hit, it's very nice. Yeah.
Agreed. That's a great question.
Thank you. Thanks for that.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Hi there.
My name is Isabella, and my question for y'all was if you could choose to play a character in the Vampire Diaries or the original character, what would you choose?
Choose to be any character in either the Vampire Diaries or the originals. Or Legacies? Could we have Legacies an option?
Ooh, Elena.
Klaus. I
Just so I can kiss you in summer.
Nice.
I would, only because it throws me off, and it throws me off today, I would love to be Daniel Gillies' character, because his character's name is Elijah, and every time I see like merch or something where it's like, here's Elijah, I'm like, hey, it's right? So just to clear up the confusion, being named Elijah would be this.
Nice. Yeah, I said Klaus. That's the one for me.
Absolutely rad.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's all right. You don't have to know. People expect us to just know the answers to everything,
Who would you be though? While we think about it, who would you be?
Yeah, probably Elena.
Elena, good call. Yeah. I like Lizzie. I mean, you were asking about the other 2 shows, but I always thought Lizzie. She was one of my favorite characters.
Same here.
Shout out to Jenny Ford. Yeah, Lizzie. I'm gonna go Lizzie.
I like Alaric. Alaric's just kind of like lasted. He's just always there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
The Phoenix. He's the real Phoenix of the show. Like how that guy's made it through everything. Unbelievable.
If you pick
Bulletproof.
If you pick Alaric, you have a career for like what, 15 years?
Forever. Yeah. So, all right.
I would choose Hope, because then I get to date me for a while. Get you courtesy laugh.
It's good. Thank you. This is a good question. Enjoyed that. Here she is, Bella.
Thank you.
This will be the last one, guys. Unfortunately.
Hi, my name is Aisha. My question is for everyone. When did you guys decide you wanted to be an actor?
When did you decide you wanted to be an actor?
When I started acting, No, like legit. I did theater all the time growing up, and it was just a fun like summer activity. We do like theater camps and whatnot. And then just for fun, a guy I knew was an actor and had an agent, and I was like, yeah, I'll audition for them, and they signed me. And the first thing I ever did was a student film at High Point University. And I remember the first day being on set. The High Point has a great like media program, so they teach like filmmaking and all this stuff. So the whole crew were students and everything was student led, but it felt like a real set. Even still, after working on actual professional sets, it felt like a real set. And I just remember, the director's talking to this actor, my co-stars are talking to each other, the camera's moving over there, lighting is setting up rigs, all this. And I just remember, as like cheesy as it sounds, sitting and feeling this creative energy of everyone working together to make this one piece of art together, and just thinking like, yeah, this is it. Like I was doing it for fun, taking a gap year after high school, and then after that I was like, yeah, I'm taking more gap years to pursue that. So yeah.
Nice. For me, I was in martial arts. I still am, but when I was a little kid, and honestly, and I think this is true for a lot of child actors, like, we just liked attention. Like, seriously, as a kid, like, it's not that I loved the craft or anything at that age. It just felt really good to be good at something and, be able to work and have these cool experiences. And then you hit a point where, like, industry is too hard to just, like, kind of like it. So I sort of, like, I had two big moments of, like, falling in love with it. One when I was, like, 18, where I was like, okay, I was coming off the show kicking it, and I was like,
well,
and I was never heard of it. Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, if I want to make a career, like a serious career out of this, like, I got to take it seriously. What am I going to do? So that was one moment. And then later on, my love continues to grow. Like, it's not been something where I've always said, like, I have to do that. But, like, I just really want to be in a creative line of work. So whether it's acting or, music, like, I like being creative. So, long-winded answer, but there you go.
I like that. Yeah, I like your craving attention thing. I mean, I remember even as a little kid.
I didn't say crave.
Oh, did you not say that?
It's like, craves, it's a little. That's
what you were addicted to attention.
He doesn't crave it, he needs it.
I'm totally joking with you.
I just remember as a little kid, I mean, I stumbled on all these home videos where I was just like dancing in front of the mirror like I was like a little kid. And I think it was just some version of like, you just want to play. You just want to enjoy play not more than the average person, but you do it a lot. And I think making home videos with like some of my childhood friends, that was probably the beginning of it. And then for me, it was doing youth theater in New York, doing nonprofit youth theater as a kid, like when I was maybe like 8 through 12 or something like that. That's where I think I really honed in on how fun it is to do theater. And when you're getting that laugh from the audience, or you're milking some moment on stage, I think that's where I knew this was really fun. But it comes and goes. I think being an actor, I don't think you have to love it your whole life to still pursue it. I think you can feel the desire to tell stories and not necessarily love it to death. That's just how I feel about it. But begin there.
Nice, man. That was great. Well, thank you so much. That was a great question.
Thanks.
Guys, that's all the time that we have. Can you thank our wonderful guests here? Yeah, it was awesome. Appreciate
Can you thank our wonderful host here?
I'll be back in a couple minutes. Thank you guys so much. I know it's really cold, so it means a lot that you're all here and supporting. So
we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.